right, we're on the new bike. Gonna go ahead and give my first impressions of it. If you can't tell by looking, it's the CB750 Hornet. I ended up going with this one instead of the MT-07, and I couldn't be happier about it. I think they're both amazing bikes, but I think, in my personal opinion, that I came out on top. Not only was the bike a little bit cheaper than the MT-07, it's also a little bit more bang for your buck. The power to weight ratio is better on this bike. It's got more horsepower, higher top speed, and it's just honestly an amazing bike. I mean, seriously, this bike has just so much power on tap through every gear, and it just keeps going all the way throughout the rev range. I haven't topped this thing out. I have no idea what the top speed actually would be with my size and weight and everything, but it gets up to 100 no problem. I mean, it's still super light and flickable. It's not Grom flickable, but I don't think anything's Grom flickable. But as far as bikes go, this is probably one of the most nimble and agile bikes you can get. It just makes me want to do hooligan things on it. Yeah, the thing about this bike is, even though it's the CB750, which I wouldn't consider a beginner bike, but I wouldn't consider it an expert level bike, it's got plenty of power on tap for me to rip as hard as I'd ever want to. And it's got enough power for me to grow into also, because there's a sports mode on here, and there's other custom riding modes as well, where I could really unlock the full power. And then of course I could do a flash and a tune and all that. But with it being a juicy bike that's also super approachable, I was a little bit apprehensive and scared. And I think probably everybody is. It's probably not just me, but when I hopped on this bike for the very first time as I was leaving the dealership, anytime you get on a new bike, it's just a new vibe, different clutch, different throttle, you know, everything's different, seating position's different, and it does take a little bit to get used to. So that first ride is always a little bit, you know, scary. But as soon as I gave it some gas and started going through the parking lot and then leaving the parking lot, I realized how wildly approachable this bike is. Even my wife, who couldn't flat foot the thing, what up, man? Hey, appreciate you. My wife can't even flat foot the thing, and she took it for a rip the other day. We did a bike swap. Basically, we took both the Grom and the CB750 out, and she was scared for one, just because her bike is a cruiser. She's got the Rebel, so to be in a, you know, a different kind of bike that's geared differently, it's geared for more torque and speed than a cruiser. And then also, because she couldn't flat foot it, she was worried. After she got going on it, she was doing fine, totally manageable, super comfortable, was able to get the bike all the way home, no issues. And then when we got home, I asked her, I was like, was it too much bike for you? Was it scary? Was it too fast, too torquey? How'd you feel on it? And she was like, no, honestly, I felt great. She was like, I was more scared of the thought of your bike than actually riding your bike. Once I got on the bike, oh, what? That's pretty cool. She was like, once I got on the bike, I was fine. But it's got something for everybody. I think this is the perfect middleweight. I think they're all really great. I think naked middleweights are honestly like the bike's bike. It is, I can see why it's such a popular segment, because they're so much fun. But really, almost anybody can hop on one of these things. I wouldn't say a total beginner should. But once you've gotten your feet wet and you've learned how to ride and you know how to clutch and throttle, and you're not gonna, you know, whiskey throttle it or just drop the clutch and do something just silly, you could hop into one of these and you can grow into it. I'm gonna give a more in-depth review on this bike once I've gotten some more miles on it. I've only had it for a week, 2 weeks, something like that. I haven't had it for very long, so I haven't gotten the full experience yet. But just in the little bit that I've had it, I've really enjoyed it. And I've got this bike, which I can do, you know, quicker speeds on, hop on the highway, go longer distances. And then I've also got the Grom that I've still been riding. I've been going back and forth between the two, which is still really good for, you know, around the city or just little quick trips. It's just super easy to hop on and go. But yeah, my first impression of this bike is super fun, super approachable, but also enough power and torque on hand. And I think it's an excellent value for the money. I think both the MT-07 and this bike are an excellent value for the money. And I also looked at the GSX 8S and 8R for that matter, and I think those are really nice too. I'm not as well versed on those, but I think this segment has a lot of really great competition. But I do think that this one probably edges ahead just a little bit. And I'm not just saying that because I bought this, but I did buy this because I think that, if that makes any sense. And for anybody that's been following the channel, you guys know I've been going back and forth and really thinking long and hard, asking you guys for your input as well before finally coming to the decision. And I couldn't be happier with it. This thing is just so much freaking fun. I think I have two of the funnest bikes out there. This being one of the most fun bikes out there. I don't think that many people are familiar with it because it just got introduced in the North American market this year. It's been out in Europe for a few years now, but I think 25, which this is 25, is the first year that they made it and sold it in the States. But then I've also got the Grom, which is also probably one of the most fun bikes out there for different reasons. But yeah, I just really wanted to get out, get some footage, let you guys see the new bike. It took me a little bit longer to buy this thing than I wanted to, just because I really loved this colorway with the pearl white and red frame. But all they had locally was the blacked out version, which looks clean as well. But since my Grom is already blacked out and I'm about to do the wrap on it to even further black it out and turn all the silver and gray trim black, I didn't want two completely blacked out bikes, so I wanted to have something a little bit different. And I didn't know that these bikes were, the body design was made in Italy, so the frame and the body styling was done in Italy. It was a collaboration. Obviously it's a Honda motorcycle, it's a Japanese motorcycle, but the styling is very Italian. It looks very cool, very aggressive. I know some people aren't a fan of the headlight. I think it looks cool, but aside from the aesthetics, it's just a crazy smooth ride. This one has the quick shifter that comes straight stock from the factory, which that's another selling point on this bike. I haven't used a quick shifter yet, don't know how to use a quick shifter, but I want to use it when I do a little bit more research. And that was another thing. The MT-07 didn't have the quick shifter, so to me it was kind of a no-brainer. I couldn't have gone wrong with the MT-07. I'm sure I'd be singing its praises also if I had it, but this thing is just, you just get so much bike. You just get so much bike for the money on this Honda, and I've got nothing but Hondas in the garage now, so I'm already familiar with Hondas. But yeah, let me know, what are you guys' thoughts? I mean, I went with the CB750 over the MT-07, and if you guys have any questions, I do plan on making some more content on this. I'll be flipping back and forth between Grom content and this bike, leaning more so on the Grom side, at least for now. But if you guys have any questions or any thoughts or just any comments on the new bike, let me know. There's not that much content out on the CB750 just because it is new to the North American market. A lot of the content that you see is for the European version. So a lot of the stuff on this bike I'm kind of figuring out for myself, because I do a lot of research and I do watch a lot of videos on bikes before I buy them, but there aren't that many people making content on this bike yet just because it is so new, whereas on the MT-07 there's tons of content. Anyways, that'll pretty much wrap it up. This will be a really quick one. Just wanted to get some footage of me riding, and then just a few quick comments before I, you know, take some notes and organize my thoughts on my first impressions and thoughts on this bike. where I'll make a longer video here shortly. Anyways, guys, ride safe. Thanks again for all the likes, subscribes, comments, and all the support. I've really gotten just so much support from you guys. It's really been amazing. And yeah, until next time, see ya.